The hidden front lines of Europe is changing. For decades, many believed large-scale war on the continent belonged to history. The Cold War had ended, borders stabilized, and Europe focused on economic growth, trade, and political unity. But beneath the surface, a new era of geopolitical tension has emerged. And today, hidden front lines are quietly forming across Europe. Not all modern battlefields are marked by trenches and tanks. Some exist in cyberspace, others beneath the sea. Some unfold through energy pipelines, satellite systems, migration routes, and information warfare. The conflict zones of the 21st century are becoming increasingly invisible. And Europe now stands at the center of this transformation. The war in Ukraine dramatically changed Europe's security landscape. What many once considered impossible returned to the continent: large-scale conventional warfare, missile strikes, drone attacks, and trench warfare stretching across hundreds of kilometers. But Ukraine is only one part of a much larger geopolitical struggle. Across Eastern Europe, countries bordering Russia are rapidly increasing military spending and strengthening border defenses. Poland is expanding its armed forces faster than almost any other European nation. The Baltic states, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, are fortifying critical regions near NATO's eastern frontier. For these nations, geography itself has become a strategic vulnerability. One of the most sensitive regions is the Suwalki Gap, a narrow strip of land between Poland and Lithuania. It connects NATO's Baltic members to the rest of Europe. Military strategists often describe it as one of the most dangerous corridors in the world, because in the event of a major conflict, controlling this area could determine the balance of power in Eastern Europe. But Europe's hidden front lines are not limited to land. Beneath the Baltic Sea and the North Sea lies another critical battlefield: energy infrastructure. Pipelines, undersea internet cables, and power networks form the backbone of modern Europe. Disrupting these systems could cripple economies without firing a single shot. Recent incidents involving damaged pipelines and concerns over sabotage have exposed how vulnerable this infrastructure truly is. And then there is cyber warfare. Modern conflicts are increasingly fought through keyboards instead of rifles. Cyber attacks targeting governments, banks, communication systems, and transportation networks have become a constant threat. European intelligence agencies warn that future wars may begin digitally long before physical combat starts. A nation could lose electricity, communications, or financial systems within hours, without a missile ever crossing its border. Information warfare has also become a major battleground. Social media platforms are now powerful geopolitical weapons. Disinformation campaigns, AI-generated propaganda, and online influence operations can shape public opinion, weaken trust, and destabilize societies from within. The front line is no longer only physical, it is psychological. At the same time, Europe faces growing pressure from the rapid evolution of military technology. Drone warfare has transformed modern conflict. Artificial intelligence is reshaping military planning. Autonomous surveillance systems now monitor borders and strategic zones around the clock, and nations across Europe are racing to modernize their defense systems. The continent is quietly entering a new arms race. But unlike the Cold War, this race is not only about nuclear weapons, it is about data, algorithms, cyber capabilities, and AI systems. Meanwhile, tensions continue rising in the Arctic. As melting ice opens new shipping routes and access to natural resources, global powers are increasing their military presence in the far north. The Arctic is quickly becoming another hidden front line for Europe's future security. And perhaps the most dangerous aspect of these hidden front lines is uncertainty. Many of today's geopolitical battles happen below the threshold of open war. Sabotage, cyber attacks, political interference, economic pressure, disinformation. These tactics allow conflict to expand without formal declarations of war. The line between peace and conflict is becoming increasingly blurred. For Europe, the challenge is no longer preparing only for traditional invasions. It is preparing for invisible threats that move through cables, satellites, algorithms, and digital networks. The front lines of the future may not always be visible on maps, but they are already shaping the security of the continent. Europe is entering a new geopolitical era, an era where the most dangerous battlefields may be the ones most people never see. The hidden front lines of Europe are already here.